Well, channel. I was looking at the records of all these. I guess you can say United Kingdom universities around the world, and I was speaking to a fellow from India, and what they taught at school in India about the crown or the English, and he pointed out to me something that I didn't realize that it was happening. Is they utilizing the Spaniards as an anchor to their identity, to being English, and then it dawned to me, oh, of course, that is why they need to eradicate the Spaniards from the United States of America. And the reason is that without the Spanish Empire, the English identity did not exist. And the reason is, prior to the Spanish, the French did not have an identity. Not the English, not the Germans, not the Italians. No one in Europe has had an identity that we have today. Only the Spaniards have that consolidated identity, and that happened in the year 1469. In the year 1469, the Visigothic kingdoms got united by Isabel de Trastamara and Ferdinand of Aragon. They got married and unite those two kingdoms, and that is the time, the moment when España or Spain was created, was consolidated, was founded, because that union was the beginning of a creation of something very new in Europe called countries. Before that, they were tribes, tribes. The Romans, they have the Latins, and they have the Etruscans, and the Sabinos, and all these other tribes. And throughout Europe was the same. But that union in between the Visigoth, the Trastamara family, was the very factor where countries or borders were start growing in Europe. So the Spaniards were the first ones. The Spaniards were the first one in creating police forces like the Hermandad, and all these institutions. They utilized the church. They utilized all these institutions to create a singularity in identity, and that is the reason the French start becoming French, and the English start becoming English, because they needed to counteract that new idea of human identity, a single large human identity. So at the time, the Spanish were Germans, and they were Frenchmen, and they were Italians, and they were English, and they were from everywhere. After this happened, now we have Spaniards. I am an Spaniard. Viva la France. Long live the Queen of England, or the King, whatever that was. So today they must defend, the English must defend that they are English, and to do that they have to destroy that idea of being Spaniards. I have no idea if I come across correctly, but basically they created their identity trying to destroy the newly created identity of the Spaniards or the Iberians. And to this day they continue to do it, and that is what they set in. They set in that mentality that for them to survive, somebody else have to be, you know, exterminated. And that is something that I think it needs to be changing. It needs to change, actually, because after all these years since Isabel Trastamara and Ferdinando in 1492, it's been little over 500 years. That is a long time, and we cannot afford to fight for that created identity anymore. We need to go backwards. We need to actually go backwards. We need to protect those origins of European, Africans, Asians, the entire planet identities. We need to go back to tribes, to groups. That does not mean that we need to destroy what we have created and advance our civilizations into modern days. What I'm trying to say is that we do not have to destroy each other's roots to advance civilization to the point of leaving this planet. We can have a jurisdiction, a political jurisdiction. We can have an economical jurisdiction. We can have an administrative jurisdiction, and not need to compete with one another. At the contrary, if we see each other as an opportunity, we don't have to kill one another in wars and attack their identities and try to change them from a Aztec to an Englishman. You know, we don't need to do that, and it's almost impossible to do that. Now, how to accomplish that? I guess, well, all we can do is just receive the attack first, and then defend that attack, and then after defend that attack, try to broadcast how we defend it and why we defend it. For example, I'm gonna give you an example. I got stopped by the police. The police wrote right in the police report, race, white, Hispanic. White Hispanic, and that is where we need to start fighting back. In my case, I told the policeman, "Sir, I am neither Hispanic nor white, so why are you writing that down?" "Oh, because that's what you are." So my response was, "Where you learn that? Who told you that? Where you learn it? Who conditioned your mind in such a way that you assign me an identity that I'm telling you that is not mine?" Of course, there is no response to that. So now I go back and explain to him what is a Hispanic. I explain to him what is a color, and how it's utilized by the enemy of the United States of America, and so on. I think that is how we need to fight. not only at the local level or at the individual level. No, we need to do it as a mass production. Everyone must learn what is Hispanic is, where it come from. Everybody must know, must learn where the English identity come from, why arrive to that point, where the French identity come from, the German identity, where Charlemagne, what Charlemagne did for humankind, and Constantine and Alexander the Great, and we need to do that to be able to transfer learning, not just any learning, but the correct learning. I have noticed lately the Spaniards, they start fighting back. They start fighting back because the entire planet have attacked them and blamed them for everything else that goes wrong in the planet. And the reason is that they were the first to unite many tribes into a single identity. So of course they were the strongest, the superpower. So everybody attacked them. And now they finally, after what, 800, since the year 711, they added since 711 now, because they are actually Visigoths. Right now they start teaching their own population first, the Catalan and the Aragonese and the Gallegos and the Celtos and the Occitanios and all that, who they really are. So they transferring that learning back. I think we all need to do that. I think that is very, very effective, I guess, if you say. So that way we can protect not just the United States of America and the Apache and the Navajo and all the tribes within United States of America, the Mexicali, the Aztecas, but also the European tribes, the Irish, the Welsh, the Scots, the Catalan, the Occitanio, the Franco, the Germano, the Alemanni, and all the rest of the tribes, the Turks, the Cartagoneses in Africa, the Berberi, the Guanchos in the islands, and all these tribes. Now we can start protecting those tribes without being in danger of losing that new identity as a group that we have created, or basically jurisdictional, administrative, and political borders that we have today. And it can be done. It can be done. Sure, it can be done. And I'm going to give you one example why I know it can be done. In the Iberia Peninsula and Andorra in France, there is several sections of geography where the jurisdiction changes, like every 6 months, I think it is. You can look it up. There is several places where the Kingdom of Spain will rule and administer a section of France for like 6 months, and then after that 6 months, the French will take over and rule for another 6 months, and they go back and forth, and they have been doing that for a very long time, including through Napoleon, including through World War I, World War II, through the Civil War in Spain. They continue to use that model of a symbiosis or cooperation. So we can do that. We can cooperate, and that was, in my opinion, the model of our founding fathers here in the United States of America had, is to create a single union in the entire, if not the planet, the American continent. Like all the Mexican states, all the states in the American continent united under one federation, indivisible. They can operate as an individual, but also as a federation, protecting all these tribes and protecting all these people. And I think if we as humans can do that, can have a cooperation in the entire planet without losing each individual language, music, or whatever, the opposite, making those human needs stronger. I think we might be able to survive the future. You know, the planet. We'll be able to survive our planet, and that is the key. The key will be to survive as a species in our planet, because believe it or not, I mean, we have asteroids that come by like every single month, really close to the planet, and we have developed this knowledge of knowing that this planet eventually will disappear and the solar system will disappear. And the only way that I can see of going ahead and surviving is by doing just that. Just utilizing the model of the Kingdom of Spain in uniting everyone and protecting everyone and grow the ability of humanity in learning. Well, saludos, and I hope you enjoy the day and the week, and think about what I just said. You know, that it's better to cooperate than it is to just fight one another for whatever the reason. Saludos.